Welcome to my academy. I remain your humble servant. Wasrum Edward is my name. I will be looking at how to estimate a unit true text or structural break text using the Perron text this morning. We are going to consider the structural and extension of the structural break text using the Perron approach, because in many reviewed literature we observe that researchers assume that structural breaks are also known as unit truth problems. Many of the time when a series is having a structural break issues, if you use the conventional ADF and Perron text, it shows that the series have a unit truth problem. But mainly, majority of the test statistics that exposes or that directs researchers to adopt a particular approach may be wrong, because the researchers may not have been aware of the fact that what they assume to be a unit truth problem could actually be structural breaks. So to capture those lacunas and those gaps, this intent of this study this morning is to expose to researchers on how to perform multiple structural breaks text using the Perron approach. The Perron approach is an extension of Quant Andrews' 1960 approach. Perron actually used or extended the Quant 1960 approach to accommodate multiple breakpoints in his research. And the Perron approach is very simple to estimate. So I want you to follow me this morning as I proceed with a study approach. Here is my EVews work file untitled. I have multiple time series information or data here, but I want to look at the Gini index. This is my Gini index. Okay, no, let me not use Gini index. Let's see how we can use let's use government expenditure on health in Nigeria spanning from 1990 to 2021. So if I am to use the government expenditure on health in Nigeria from 1990 to 2021, and my study objective is to identify the breakpoints in this particular annual time series information that was gotten from the CBN, from the World Development Indicators. I will now officially attempt to perform a unit truth text on this particular time series data. And because the information I'm dealing with is actually in billions, and we need to log this information. To have that done, I'll go to series statistics and maneuver to unit truth, and then I now click the log of GEH. If I hit the OK button, I'll be exposed to this. So conventionally, this is how we do the normal unit truth text, But given the condition we find ourselves, because we want to look at the Perron text, if you go to view from the text without logging the information, you go to view, you'll be exposed to different drops down. We have spreadsheet, graph, descriptive text, one-way tabulation, parallelogram, long variance, unit truth text, breakpoint, unit truth text, variance ratio, BDX, and independent text, and focus, evaluation, and label. But our attention will actually be on the breakpoint unit truth text. Here, if you hit on this, you'll be exposed to breakpoint unit truth text estimation bar that appears like this. So the first thing to do is to leave it at level. Then you come to break type. Innovative at layer is okay, is better. Then the basic breakpoint called intercept is just intercept and trend. Then you break selection, you change to augmented, the Kifula main test. then leave the brake to at intercept the maximum lag. I may decide to use lag 5 without changing any other thing. If you hit the OK button, you'll be exposed to a result that appear like this. Let me copy it neatly. Let me pull it to a Microsoft Word where we can look at it collectively. Anyway, we can look at it here. This is the result that came out, and this is what they call the Perron unit truth test. This result is divided into two phases. The first phase is the breakpoint phase, while the second phase is the normal conventional unit truth phase. So let's look at the hypothesis here. Is that government expenditure on health has a unit truth, and when we assume that a series has a unit truth, we mean that that series is not stationary at level, or that the series does not converge to its mean. So given the fact that this hypothesis will be accepted, means that the p-value need to be above the threshold of 5%. And if this hypothesis will be rejected, it means that the p-values need to be less than 5%. And with what we have here, the p-value of the government expenditure on health is less than 5%. And since this p-value is less than 5%, we now assume that this series do not have a unit truth problem, because the p-value is less than 5%. And if you also look at it critically, you also see that this statistics in absolute term is greater than the critical value at 5% in absolute term. But our attention today is to actually identify the point, the break point. So if you look at this section, we have the break point, that the break occurred in 1998. Break selection, that the break occurred in 1998. So given this information, the researcher can also go further by testing or by identifying the test statistics graph. This is the test statistics graph that exposes the points that this break occurred. Remember that in my previous video I told you that outliers and structural breaks actually makes graph look have a very sharp point, or a very sharp point of departure. If you take a critical look at this graph, you observe that in 1998 there is a critical point of departure, a break point where the graph had an upward loop, and according to the test statistics, that is the point that the break occurred. So you can also go further to look at other statistical, the AR point, given the condition or the estimation that has been done. So that is how the unit truth test is being performed using the Perron procedure. So we can also go further to identify, the AR point. We can move further to identify the AR point. We can move further. This is the AR statistics, or the AR coefficient, which is also called the Fuller autoregressive coefficient. So basically, this is how we identify the presence of structural breaks, the presence of breaks in a time series information. So researchers could actually take advantage of that, build their models, take decisions on the appropriate method of analysis without making grievous errors. Thank you for staying tuned to this very short information. In my next video, I will present to you how to identify the presence of structural break using the Gregory-Hansen statistics. Thank you, and God bless you.